Peace and blessings, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. This is Cimarron X7 of Cimarron's Enchanted Earth, coming back with another weekly reading for you as before. So now we are going to be using the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck, and I'm going to pull a card from this deck, and we're going to see what the message is for this week. I don't know about you guys, but June has already been off to a pretty interesting start. So I'm excited to see what the week ahead holds for us, and I'm sure you are too if you're watching this. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards real quick, and we're going to emotional release. That makes sense. It's interesting that card came up because it's raining right now where I am, and it's been raining quite a bit lately. And I actually just mentioned it the other day to my wife that I feel like this rain is attached with a lot of release and letting go of things, ideas, beliefs, limitations, sometimes constraints that we put on ourselves. And with every time that it's rained thus far, there's been something that I've had to process out of my system to accompany it. So I'm not surprised to see that emotional release card pop up. But the question is, what is the card for this week? That's what we're going to find out. So sexual energy. This is a very interesting one because it definitely feels like that is something that has been ignited lately for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. I mean, there's a lot of births that are coming into the world, so clearly people are engaging in their sexual energy, but, with that comes so many other things. And I'll get into those a little bit more as I get into the reading for this week. So, with sexual energy representing what it is that we need to be mindful of this week, it lets us know that energy that we have, that very dynamic, very active, very need to fulfill energy is not one that is just exclusively used as a resource when indulging in sexual activities, but it is also a source of manifestation. It is a source of power. That sexual energy is an extension of a even broader spectrum of which that sexual energy flows from. And that is, I would say, more one direction or one avenue of approach or one outlet for it, but that flows from a very deep reservoir. And this week, you really want to tap into that energy. You really want to see where it comes from, what it makes you feel, where it is that you feel compelled to apply that to. If you've been taking a lot of consideration into what makes you feel more attractive, what makes you feel more confident, what makes you feel more self-assured, maybe you've been thinking about buying new clothes because you don't like the clothes that you have, or making some sort of aesthetic change to your appearance, maybe a different hairstyle, maybe a haircut, whatever the case may be. These things are likely attached to that sexual energy that is being referred to in this card. That energy from which not only confidence pours out, but the ability to manifest the desires that often associate these feelings. So when we want to be more attractive, we do the things to become more attractive so we can feel more attractive. And when we feel more attractive, we become more attractive, and it becomes a persistent cycle. The more we feel, the more we are. The more we are, the more we feel. So see where your sexual energy is being felt. Where in your body? How is it being exuded? Are you exuding it at all? Do you feel that there's any blockages that are preventing you from engaging and exploring what that is and how it can be applied in your life? You know, a lot of people may have some blockages due to self-limiting beliefs. Maybe, you know, they haven't felt very attractive for a while, and, you know, they've wanted to put themselves out there and do things and make changes that would have them potentially feel like they are more in tune with their sexuality, but there's some kind of environmental or external constraint. For some people, that could be religion. For some people, that could be your associations, your families, whatever constrictions or restraints that you have. Take the time this week to really assess them and ask yourself, is this really what is best suiting me in my life? Is this thing that is preventing me from having this energy flow for me, from me being able to dive deeper into that reservoir that I referred to before? Is it worth me not indulging or engaging or embracing that energy? And if it's not, then that's something that you need to address within yourself as you are experiencing this influx of energy, because there's a lot of different ways that this can be used. That sexual energy can help also increase your creative drives. Maybe you have been thinking about doing a more creative endeavor, like engaging in art or engaging in dance, or, you know, something where you're able to channel that energy. But if you aren't able to channel it, then that energy is pent up within inside of you. You know, that feeling of not being able to get that release is going to create resentment. So sexual energy is all about fluidity. It's about movement. It's about connecting and reconnecting. It's about contracting and expanding. It's very, very dynamic, which is really interesting, the timing of this card, because with, you know, Jupiter moving into Cancer, it's very expansive. So the more you feel that you are restricted in tapping into this energy or releasing or embracing or embodying this energy, the more you're going to feel it swell up within you. For some of you, this may just be a sign that you need to have more sex. You need to have more orgasms. You need to have more things that help you release. It comes as no surprise that it's raining right now, because rain is another form of release when it comes to, you know, having that emotional release. And with sexual energy this week, maybe that is the release that you need to be able to release some of the tension, some of the pressure, some of the stress. A lot of times when we feel like the world is beating us down, the thing that helps make it all better, at least in the short term, is a good O. And you just might need that good O, so that way you can have, you know, all those feel good chemicals released from the brain, and it can help you not be so deeply invested in trying to figure out the how and the why and the when, and just be present. Sexual energy is very present. You know, your sexual energy isn't being exerted into the future. It isn't going to be released into future activities. It's going to be released into the things that we are doing presently. You have to be present to tap into that sexual energy. You have to be present to utilize that sexual energy, and you have to be present to release that energy. And likely you need to experience some combination of all three of those things this week. So don't be afraid to explore that. Don't be afraid to do things a little different. Don't be afraid to do what makes you feel more sexy. To do what makes you feel like you are embodying that very thing that, you know, with this influx of energy, you are hoping to have reciprocated back to you. You know, be that enticing person. If things are kind of stale in your relationship, spice them up. Try different things. Do different things. But whatever it is you try, whatever it is you do, don't do it with the focus on what it's going to do for you down the road. Focus on what is going to help you address right now. Because engaging, embodying this sexual energy is what you need right now, this week. So allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to direct that energy through your body. For some of you, this may require for you to masturbate, to be able to touch and feel your body, to really focus on the sensitivity of your flesh, the sensitivity to touch, to stimulation. A lot of you who are watching this probably need more stimulation. For some people rather, that stimulation is a stimulation of the mind. Because unless your mind is stimulated, it's hard for your body to get stimulated. For others, it's just, you need that physical sensation. And with that is going to come dynamic energy, which when used effectively can enhance so many of the things that you're doing right now. So if you feel that things are kind of slowing down and you have a blockage and you just have to get that release, allow yourself to let that energy pour from your body and out of it into the world, into your works, into your actions, into your, the process of how you do things, and watch how releasing and utilizing that energy is going to enhance everything you do. So don't be shy. Give sex a try, because it's definitely going to, if nothing else, make you feel better. And when we feel better, we do better. When we do better, we are better. So you want to be better, you got to do better. You want to do better, you got to feel better. Using this sexual energy this week is going to make you feel better, and everything else is going to fall into place. So with that being said, that's the reading for this week. Again, I'm Cimarron X77. This is Cimarron's Enchanted Earth. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and subscribe and share. I'll see you again next week. It's been a pleasure. Take care.